Hi, I'm Brad Law from Frazer Jones here on the US team.
Hi, I'm Erica from the Frazer Jones US team.
Erica and I are exploring today what's happening within the financial services market, a space where Erica focuses all of her time.
And I'm also going to talk to Brad a bit about what he's seeing in the reward space within the US market within financial services as well.
What are some of the most in-demand HR positions in financial services at the moment?
All of the positions within the general space, if you're looking at like HRBPs, high-level CHROs, also looking into more specialized roles within talent development, learning and development. And recruiting has come back quite a bit this year too, which is a great sign for everyone, of course. If there's more recruiters, that means there's more of a need to hire across the board. We are seeing an increase in demand across the board this year within HR and recruiting. We hope to see continued movement.
Are there any skills that clients are looking for in particular that you haven't seen before or that they haven't asked for before?
Demand for folks that not only have been doing this for a while, but actually have an analytical skill set as well. Being able to look at data, being able to tell a story from the data, demonstrate the impact and the ROI that they're getting for not just the HR team, but for the business as a whole, the impact that they're having. And then we're also seeing just a lot of need for folks who've gone through transformations as well. There's been a lot of companies upgrading their technology. It's an opportunity for them to obviously become more efficient, integrate AI, and so looking for folks who have that forward-thinking mentality and have a really strong tech skill set as well.
Are financial services organizations doing anything different in terms of their talent or retention strategies?
Companies are really trying to ensure that they retain top talent by finding opportunities to mobilize folks internally, to help develop them, and also even looking at benefits packages and seeing how they can tailor what they're offering to their specific population.
How are compensation and benefits packages changing in the current market?
We're just seeing overall it's very competitive to hire top talent right now. There may not be an overflow of jobs necessarily. There's plenty to go around right now, and I would say that to get the top talent, it has to be pretty enticing given the current market conditions. When great talent does get an offer, then they're getting counter-offered as well from their current organization. Companies really need to come to bat with a very competitive offering. In terms of how the comp and benefits packages are changing, I think HR professionals are working hard to understand the population they have and take into account all the different generations and generational nuances that come with each one in terms of what they need. We've seen CHROs talking a lot about partnering with fertility benefit providers, which is great. Overall, just thinking about how can they really support an employee's life cycle while they're at the firm.
What's happening in terms of hybrid and remote work within financial services?
So most of our financial services clients, I would say, are back 3 to 5 days a week in office and are pushing for that in-office collaboration and team mentality. But at the same time, there are companies that are still trying to provide some sort of flexibility. We know that talent values that. At the same time, I think specifically within financial services, those who really want to be in the industry are also valuing time in office and in collaboration, and not just for the sake of being in office and being present, but actually being able to have that opportunity to collaborate with their teammates. Those who are taking more of a hybrid approach, there is an opportunity to widen the talent pool, of course. It really just depends on the culture and the way they want and the tone they want to set for their environment.
How do you see the financial services market within HR evolving over the next 3 to 5 years?
I think with the introduction of AI technology, and every company is taking a bit of a different approach, and they're at a different place, I guess, in their AI journey. At the same time, everyone's looking for ways to become more efficient, and not necessarily to replace people, but to really augment and enhance their ability to do more. So I think technology, in whichever way we're using it, is going to only help versus replace.
What are you seeing in terms of the biggest challenges for financial services firms in hiring the best HR talents in the market?
What I'm seeing is that in order to get top talent or really highly in demand talent is being able to provide a picture for what their career could look like and how it can evolve if they were to join their firm. At the same time, compensation plays a big role. Looking into hybrid work versus in-office work, if there's any sort of flexibility, that's certainly a competitive advantage. But it certainly isn't the end-all be-all. Plenty of people are bought into 5 days in the office, and that's not as much of an issue now. Wherever there's an opportunity to demonstrate just, a human culture, as much as possible. That's also helpful for people to understand, like, what does the team look like? How can I, what does the runway look like, and all of that.
What are candidates emphasizing to you when you're having conversations around what they look for in organization? What's on their wish list?
So when I'm talking to quality talent in the financial services space within HR, a lot of what I'm hearing, especially right now, is a desire to join a stable firm. Doesn't mean they have to have been around forever, but a place that is performing well, that has an upward trajectory, of course, a place where they feel like they're going to be supported, not just in their work, but in life in general. So how are you finding the total reward space evolving in the financial services industry in particular?
From a benefits perspective, we've seen a lot of organizations look at how they could revamp their benefits. They're trying to manage cost, but they're also trying to really tailor their benefits to the workforce. So providing more flexible options where employees can select. I think there's been quite a significant shift towards more wellness initiatives, looking at how they can drive engagement within the organization. Certainly, starting a family, there's more of an investment from a fertility perspective, support that they're providing to parents. So benefits has definitely been a large focus of investment, and I think analysis for a lot of firms.
Typically in financial services, you see the benefits packages tend to be usually the best out of any industry, which is great. Financial services, it's a rigorous industry. People are working, sometimes longer hours than maybe other industries. So it's great to hear that you're seeing people are trying to support their employees in that way.
We're also trying to make sure the environments they work within are productive, happy employees as well. So a lot of organizations have made office moves. I think there's been more real estate opportunities for some firms in the market, and they're investing in spaces where they can get a lot more for their employees in terms of just gyms, wellness.
You do a lot of work in the HRIS space. Like, are there certain HRIS platforms that certain companies in financial services are using more of? Like, what are you seeing the trends there?
So we've seen a significant investment in the last probably 2 years in organizations selecting new systems. There's obviously a huge AI trend, and it's kind of the hot topic, so people are investing. Also a very large push from an efficiency and automation perspective, and technology really underpins a lot of those efforts. I think it's challenging for a lot of organizations because a lot of those systems are disparate. Data pools don't sit in one place.
Right.
The data quality isn't always great. So there's a lot of work that needs to go in before they make that transformation. A large portion of our clients use Workday. Several still use Salesforce, Oracle. Some of our smaller clients use Rippling. There's also a very big investment from an analytics perspective. So we're starting to see some firms have team sizes 5, 10, even 15 people in people analytics. They're trying to shift from just analyzing their workforce to actually predicting both needs and what they think the workforce will do. So that's one area where there's been quite a significant investment. Because
of these technology shifts, they're hiring for HRIS professionals. Are you seeing a huge surge in demand, and what does that talent pool look like?
Definitely a significant increase in the demand. The talent pool isn't quite keeping up, so there is a bit of a battle for that talent. I think firms that have the money to invest are most certainly pulling a lot of that talent in at the moment. I feel like every time I get asked if we can help with a specific role, maybe it's an HRBP or a recruiter role or something more within a generalist space, we're also getting asked, hey, do you also place folks that focus specifically on Workday? And I think it's just going to continue as firms look to get more efficient, of course, and automate a lot of the manual tasks in the business.